Okay, now we're gonna look at number 10. Maria found out that 3/4 of the students in her class take the bus to school. What percentage of students in her class take the bus? This problem, all we need to do is use a calculator here. You're gonna type in 3 divided by 4. When you do so, you're gonna get 0.75, then multiply that by 100 to get the percentage, and you will get 75%. Take the bus. You want to know what number is 30% of 200 for number 11. So you can solve this one a couple different ways. The first way I'm going to show you is probably the easiest. So if you know that 30% is the same as 0.3, you're going to multiply that by 200, and you're going to get 60. So the answer for that would be 60. The other thing you can do is you can look at 200, know that 10% of that, so I'm going to move the decimal one place to the left, is 20. Well, that's 10%. I need 30%, which is 3 times that, so that would be 60. So that's another way that you can solve. Or you can take part over whole equals percent over 100. Then we're going to cross multiply. P times 100 is 100p equals 200 times 30 is going to be 6,000. I need to divide by 100 on both sides of my equal sign to isolate my variable. P will equal 60. So again, 60 is the answer for number 11. I don't care which way you solve these problems, as long as you show your work and I can figure out how you solved it. Number 12, Larissa asked 40 students to name their favorite food. 10 students said their favorite food was pizza. What percent of students surveyed said their favorite food was pizza? Well, 40 would be my whole. 10 would be my part, so I have part over whole. This is the same as 10 divided by 40. When I do that in the calculator, I'm going to get 10 divided by 40, which equals 0.25. I would then multiply that by 100, and I would get 25%. The other thing you can look at is 10 times 4 is 40, right? And there are 4 quarters and $1. A quarter is 25%. So that's another way that you can kind of put that together. Number 13. In Mr. Diaz's class, 20% of students received an A on their report card. There are 25 students in the class. How many students received an A on their report card? Well, I'm going to use part over whole equals percent over 100. And I'm going to take P times 100, and I'm going to cross multiply, and I get 100p equals 20 times 25 is going to be 500. I need to isolate my variable P by dividing by 100 on both sides of my equation. And I will get P equals 5. So 5 students get an A. I could also then check that by taking 5 divided by 25 in a calculator. When I do that, I'm going to get 0.2, multiply that by 100, and I would have 20%. I could also take 25 and multiply that by 0.2. And when I do that, I will get 5 for my answer. So those are the 3 ways you can solve that problem. Number 14, Mike saves 20% of every paycheck. His paycheck last week was $1,500. How much money did Mike save from the paycheck? To do this one is kind of easy if you take 1,500 and I know 10% of that is 150. Well, I need 20%, which would be double. If I double 150, I'm going to get 300. So that is $300. I can also take 1,500 in my calculator, multiply that by 0.2. When I do so, I will get 300. You could also use the part over whole equals percent over 100 cross multiplication method to solve that problem. All right, number 15. Theo correctly answered 40 out of 50 questions. On his spelling quiz, what percent of questions did Theo answer? Express your answer as percent and as a decimal. Well, I'm going to write this as 40 out of 50. In my calculator, I'm going to take 40 divided by 50. When I do so, I'm going to get 0.8. So there's my decimal. And then I'd take 0.8 and multiply that by 100 of my decimal point to get 80%. So there it is.